Many people ask me this question. Did you draw this from a reference? Or did you draw it from imagination? I know exactly why people ask this, because I used to wonder the same thing. If someone drew it using a reference, you might think, well, okay, I could probably draw that too if I had a reference. But if someone drew it without a reference, you think,
Hmm.
wow, that's impressive.
Oh,
How?
that's impressive. Huh?
And some people ask this too. Then, how long did it take? For a long time, I really wanted to improve at drawing without any references. So I spent a lot of time practicing drawing from imagination. I even tried to make it look realistic. But it did not go well because it was extremely difficult. And honestly, the process was not enjoyable. Eventually, I stopped drawing
I
for a
guess you
while.
just gotta be confident.
Later, I started thinking about what I was missing. And I realized that what I was missing was very basic knowledge and an understanding of the actual proportion of the human face. You need to
So
understand how a
circles.
face is built before you can truly draw one. No matter how stylized or unique a character is, the human faces are still the foundation. Ironically, the way I learned to draw faces from imagination was by drawing from references over and over again. But there is a trap here. When you practice from references, you need to think about the structure of the face while drawing. This is why I often say, do not focus too much on making it look exactly the same. Because when that desire becomes too strong, you stop thinking about the structure of the face and fall into the trap of simply copying. Of course, this does not really apply to artists whose main goal is purely realistic rendering. After teaching face drawing on YouTube for many years, I honestly think the person who improved the most was probably me. Because I had to draw consistently and I also had to explain it to all of you. In this session, I'm going to draw faces without using references. Each face took about 9 minutes and I
Oh.
also made many corrections along the way. Of course, the drawing method itself is important, but I personally believe that enjoying the process of drawing is even more important. I hope you enjoy drawing faces together with me and have a great time.
Ow. Ow. Yeah, I guess you just gotta learn. Think about it. Okay. I need to figure out all this. Oh, hey, Safety. The new Madonna album, it's like okay. Okay, so we should probably look at something to draw. I mean, Confessions too. Like it's okay. I don't know. Confessions 2 is like okay, I guess, so far. I wouldn't say it's like the best album ever. Just... I mean, we do want to be more fashion forward. Breathe. Actually, I finished Go For It, not Makamura-kun. That's really good. Oh, I hate Boro. Boro, what are you doing? I thought you were still streaming, but like, oh my god, I've been stuck at work for like 10 hours. Like, oh my god, I'm tired. I was like, I want to play games, but at the same time, like, no, I need to learn how to draw. Poro, what was the game you were playing? The one with like, I think it was a dating sim. What was that? I thought 10 hours was normal. No, it's like 8 hours. Oh my god, have you been working 10 hours? And then, I mean, I used to work 2 jobs, so I guess like 17 hours. 17 hours is good. You thought you thought 10 was normal. Interesting character development. I see. Yeah, I think yeah, when I turned like 22, when I graduated college, I was like, oh, there's no way I can like make enough money to like support myself. So like I got 2 jobs to save up. And then I did like a whole bunch of stuff. I have a forklift thingy majiggy certification. I worked at a warehouse. Uh, I worked at I worked at like a hotel for a time too. Uh, yeah, I was at a hotel as like the the early shift person, like the help desk person. Uh, that was pretty insane. There's like this one lady that apparently her like her boyfriend, husband, I don't know, just the her man companion, like like he split like his head open, and then I had to call like paramedics because I was like, I've never seen this happen before because I guess he hit his like head against the railing like on the second floor, I guess. Like drunkenly, and then I had to handle that one time. Um there's one time there was like an orgy in the hotel one time too. And then okay, first of all, it was like against company policy, but like there were like a few tweakers, and I was like, you know what, you guys have your orgy, because I was too scared. I mean, like I could have called security, but then I was like, I don't want to piss them off. So I wonder like where that. I did see like some cameras and stuff, so maybe maybe like in one weird way, like maybe we'll find the sex video and be like, oh hey, I used to work at a hotel. Yeah, but like I did not enjoy working at the hotel. There was a lot of people wanting to upgrade their room, and I'm like, girl, it's not a fancy hotel. It's a Best Western. Oops, shout out Best Western. Like, there's not that many rooms, to be honest. So yeah, that wasn't really fun. My favorite like side hustle was, oh, we can keep playing this. My favorite side hustle was actually, I like working at the bakery. I used to like get up at like 3 a.m. or it's either 2 or 3 a.m. and then like I go to the bakery and I'd help like prep or like do like the early baking for like 3 or 4 hours, and then I'd go to my regular job. I used to work at like a makeup, like a beauty makeup like company, and that was kind of ass. I'm not gonna lie, because girl, I don't know, like the beauty people are like kind of toxic. Like big surprise, but you're kind of expected to wear makeup yourself, and like as like a frumpy guy, I think I'm a pretty frumpy guy. I did not know how to put on makeup. So I just like put on like I put on I'll put on like foundation. Girl, Bye Sister Part 2 is true. Like girl, this is like the scene in this Devil Wear Prada. I used to, okay, I'm not gonna lie. This was me. This is me in this scene.
Where are the belts for this? Why is no one ready?
Here. Tough call. They're so different.
Just like pay attention. Yeah, I'm that. Yeah, that's me. I'm this girl.
Something funny?
Like I had to like really revamp my wardrobe, how I
It's just-
presented myself, because I used
Those
to
worlds look exactly the
I used to
same.
be like, oh, it's the work
Still.
ethic. Like no
Learning about
bitch.
this stuff.
It's
and-
about the look.
This stuff? Oh. Okay. I see. You
I
think
really
this has
fucked up.
nothing to do with you. You.
I learned a little bit
closet.
about makeup. I'm
And
still not
you
like good
slipped
at
up into
makeup.
that lumpy blue sweater, for instance, because you're trying to tell the world that you take
It's
yourself too
true.
seriously to care about what you put on your back. But what you don't know is that that sweater is not just blue. It's
No chop people at the
nice,
Mac.
it's
Oh,
not
it's
lapis.
true.
It's actually cerulean. And you're also blithely unaware of the fact that in 2002, Oscar de la Renta did a collection of cerulean gowns, and then I think it was Yves Saint Laurent, wasn't it, who showed cerulean military jackets? I think we need a jacket here. And then cerulean quickly showed up in the.
I think
collections of
also
the
when I was
different
working in that
designers, and then
industry,
it, filtered down through the
I think
department stores, and then trickled on down.
I
to the
think it
front
was like
kind
very into like
casual
fiber,
corner where you know
fiber
that fish
maxing,
scraps
and then like
clearance bin. However, that millions of dollars.
water like weight loss pills.
And it's sort of
So I'm not gonna lie, the bathrooms are like really gross. Like,
industry when in fact you're wearing a sweater that was selected for you by the people in.
so yeah, we were the frumpy. We were the frumpy girl. So yeah. Ooh, wait, new BL. I'm getting too distracted. I need to like learn. They are, but like they did look really skinny. Even like the mean gays, uh, like they would only eat. I think they were really into Caesar salads, but like very very short on the cheese. There was this one time we had this company potluck and everybody like brought a salad to share, and I baked like a pot pie. And everybody was like, "Oh, fat and carbs and meat," and I was like, "Oh." I was basically the ugly Betty of the office. I was like, "Oh." I mean, there was like the security guard ate it. Um, the non-fashion people ate it. The cleaning staff ate some. They liked it, but yeah, it was not a good. I worked in that company for 2 years, and then like apparently they didn't pay their models. They didn't pay anybody. They didn't pay like, so usually like you hire models and stuff, or like I guess like other people to like help market your products and stuff. Yeah, they didn't pay anybody. So they couldn't afford models, and then like I was like, I need to get out of this company. And then I moved to a different company and it was all good, but like, oh my god, pay your models, girls. Honestly, I don't mean to sound like an ungrateful bitch or a pick me, but yeah, I didn't really make friends with anybody except for like the cleaning staff. Like I don't know. They just have different priorities. Like I never went out like club. I don't know. I feel like I sound like such a pick me. But I just didn't like fit in the company environment or like the vibe, you know? And I think it's just like you should it's not like I hated them, it's not like I like villainified them. It's just like I just don't get along with them, you know. So yeah, sometimes when you work with people you just don't really get along. So yeah, how was everybody's day by the way? But I will say, um warehouse work is actually pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure how it is right now because I quit like a few months ago. I'm not sure how AI is like ruining it. But like honestly, warehouse work is so like tea. If you don't want anybody bothering you, you just do your work. And like literally nobody like the managers don't even give a crap that much sometimes. You just like do your job and then you just like I guess you're not allowed to like listen to music and stuff, but I do anyway because I'm like, well, who's gonna manage me? It's a warehouse, darling. Like, yeah. So I guess we shouldn't watch. Oh yeah, but Apothecary Diaries. I think Apothecary Diaries new season's gonna be in like 2 or 3 months. I think it's in October. I'm not sure where we're gonna watch the Apothecary Diaries movie. But I also want to do a little Discord watch along for the Apothecary Diaries. I'm gonna call OSHA on you. Girl. I mean, honestly, maybe I should. I will say, like, it's kind of weird. Like, okay, in the warehouse job, I don't know, there's all these like fuck ass old ass men try to hit on like the new like 20-year-old like girl hires. And I'm just kind of like, oh. And there's this one time this I wanna say like he's around like 50. He was trying to like explain like muscle cars to this one girly pop girl that I don't know why she was working this job. She just needed a paycheck, but he was trying to explain like all these muscle cars and stuff, and she was just like, "Yeah, cars and wheels and it's crap." And then that's like verbatim what she said, and I was kind of just laughing. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, she just does not give a shit." Hi, Lonely Tree. So yeah, that was funny. I'm trying to find a video to watch. Would hit on you. Is there like any cute people in your workplace? Oh yeah, we love Lonely Tree. Okay, we need to start drawing something. Oh my god, have you guys watched Obsession? Obsession is a pretty good movie, I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing good. I had to work overtime. That's why I like started stream very late. Oh look, a Lonely Tree video. Did I like this one? Oh, I didn't. I just like this one. Oh my god, Obsession is so good, girl. You need to watch Obsession. Oh, was I supposed to comment? I don't know how to do YouTube. You're off for 2 days? Oh, girl, I wish I could be off. Until Dawn 2. Oh my god, what is this? You just reached the moon. Oh, I need to do that. I've been on the moon, I assume. Oh my god, I've been like struggling. Okay, I'm gonna look at a reference. Okay. You don't know what that is. Oh. Actually, let's watch this.
Hello everybody! Today we are at the Oedo Antique Market at the
I
Tokyo
see.
International Forum. The closest station is Yurakucho and it's
Yeah, I think I bought like 2 games from the Steam Summer Sale, but
It's
nothing
Japan's
too crazy.
largest open-air antique market, so it does get cancelled if it rains, but usually it's open on the first and third Sundays of the month. The first section you come into if you're coming
Let's
from the
see.
metro station side
Um,
is mainly Western items, and some stalls have contemporary artisan pieces like pottery and other handmade items.
you're at
So
83
Japan
exploration.
is
How,
where the
girl?
Japanese antiques start.
Girl, how? I don't know how you explore. I struggle with that all the time. Hi, Navi. We're trying to learn how to draw. While we're looking at Japan vlogs to see what to do. Hello. Okay, so like, what are we doing?
Look at how beautifully curated that layout is. It's like an exhibition. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how you do story. I'm too lazy for that. Really? I feel like story's the only thing that gets me going and get shit.
So now we
I'm like
are
so
where the
bored.
Japanese antique selection starts. Kind of near this
How are you
stone
doing?
circle, mini Stonehenge installation. Beyond there is where the Japanese stuff starts. I've added estimated prices in US dollars as at April/May 2024 for ease of
Mm,
reference. If you're looking to purchase kimono or haori or michiyuki at the market, there is an abundance of this
but
stuff.
yes, we just
Both
try.
have prices depending
I guess we
on the
just try
quality,
annoying
of
draw.
course, but I'm sure you'll find something. By the way, thank you to everyone who's returned to the channel to join me today, and welcome to everybody who's new on here. I'm Michelle, I'm half Japanese, born in Tokyo, assembled partly here and
Oh,
partly
half
in the
Japanese, I
UK.
see.
I am a reseller and a tour guide, and this channel is purely for entertainment. It might have a bit of educational content, but it's
Have
not
you
an educational
have you guys
channel.
ever thought about
It's
reselling
just for fun.
things?
So I hope you enjoy this market today.
Wow, that circle's so bad. We're procrastinating. How do people draw a circle? Oh my god, it's like a square. How do you draw a circle?
It's a little bit on the pricier side, but I think it's pretty unique.
I
You
don't
don't
get
tend
it.
to see white-based kimonos at the markets. Some of the booths here are so well
Okay,
presented,
hand,
and their
cooperate.
pieces are displayed in just the perfect place. This one is a particular favorite of mine.
But yeah, I don't know. I really need to like get into this art stuff. Also, we need to start learning Japanese. Good enough. Turn. Okay, got it. I wonder how people like get so confident in drawing their lines. Okay. I think it was also Soleil, was it? Like, you like draw a circle to the side. That's like a plane. Okay. Art can smell fear. I'm struggling. I'm being fearful. Okay, so and apparently, I have a problem where I don't want to like I don't know. I use the circle, be like, oh, things should be this size, but I don't know why. I don't want to like ever want to like draw past the
So these
circle,
or combs
which
are
I should.
ornamental, so we don't actually comb our hair with it. These ones are placed in the center of the head at the top, and then we have these stick-type kanzashi called kogai. And you saw some
Oops.
of the celluloid pieces earlier.
No.
Sometimes they're made of tortoise shell, but some are made of wood like this and lacquered. So you stick that through. It goes through the back of the head, the back part of the head. And I'm quite liking this one here. Not that I'd have any use for it because I wouldn't wear it in my hair. You'd only wear it if you are putting it up in the traditional way, perhaps for a wedding or for coming of age day.
Oh, hi, honeybee. How are you doing?
And shell inlay.
I don't know what
like
button I
it. It's a
pushed.
Korean traditional craft technique.
Well,
I
let's
like the
restart.
inlay.
Let's start another
Let's have
circle.
a look down
Hi, honeybee.
here.
How are you doing?
These ones are far more pricey because they have coral in them. Can you see the
Oh,
orangey,
I almost made a
pinkish
good circle.
beading? Those would be coral. Moving on to the small dishes, you can see the stickers.
We're trying
on
to learn
there.
drawing.
They're noting what era or period they're from. So this one here is from the Meiji period. I love Mount Fuji.
It's as good as
there.
we're gonna
I've seen
get.
this stall at other antique markets too.
But like,
Big
how are you,
Shinjuku.
honeybee?
So I'm sure that's the same in other countries. Here is a traditional well. It
Okay,
looks like a half
so
back. And over here, I like the plum in the center. It's actually more expensive than the one made in the end of the Edo period. So I'm not an antique expert. I'm not so sure why. Possibly because of the condition or the technique. Over here we have some soba choco, which is for the dipping sauce or broth for noodles. And it's from the Edo period, the end part of the Edo period. So that's pretty amazing. Now we have a whole load of matcha bowls. We say matcha jawan. Jawan or chawan means bowl, like a rice bowl is chawan. It's just to differentiate what type of bowl it is.
But yeah, I don't know.
Checking out what's on the bottom shelf before going back to the matcha jawan. Look, these ones with the red and green stickers are reduced price, but I can't remember what the green ones are. The red ones I think were 300 yen.
Japan,
I'm
yeah.
not sure what they reduced down to, but yeah, you can get a good deal if you have a look around at the bottom shelf in this stall. At first, I thought this might be a kuroraku, a black raku, but I'm not so sure. If it is, the price is really good. And I like to have my matcha in a dark bowl or a red bowl because I feel the green really contrasts well with it.
Yeah, I'm going in the fall.
This is oribe ware, which is a type of mino ware from Gifu Prefecture. It's easily recognizable because of that specific green glaze and the brown drawings. You don't see the green Edo Kiriko glass that often. It's quite unusual. If you're looking for matcha bowls to take home, there are plenty of options here, and this one is called Yuteki Tenmoku Chawan. Tenmoku is literally a form of bowl that originates in China, and Yuteki means oil drops. Can you see how the spots kind of look like oil? That's from the glaze. It's iron in the glaze that's crystallized. How great is that red flash on this?
Oh yeah, how's the artwork? How's the art fight going?
So I try to get in down the bottom to show you the male kimono, but this lady was in the way and I couldn't get through, so I'm sorry about that.
Oh, this is the art fight guy. Oh, I should have been here. It's like something, I guess. You ended up a foray, so see you. Okay, so um I guess it takes time to be confident in your lines, but one day I want to be confident in my lines too. One of these days. It's really exciting. I'm glad you're having fun. I shouldn't like put this. Ooh, these are nice masks.
Let's look at the Netsuke in this case. Netsuke are actually functional items. So as you know, kimonos don't have pockets. So if men wanted to carry small items around, they would have a small case like an indro or a container or maybe a tobacco pouch. And it'd be attached
Wait,
to the cord
tobacco
at one
pouch?
end and suspended below the obi belt. And attached to the very top of the cord would be a netsuke. And that would secure the cord from slipping through the obi. I'm obsessed with this dog's expression. So these were fashion items.
And then like
and the
apparently
price point is quite high here because it's
I've
made
been
of
seeing
ivory.
people say like should draw like the head bigger. And I'm like, oh, should I? Apparently I've been drawing like the head too small. That doesn't look right. So like realism that now can hold up a head. Anime thing. It's true. I guess it's yeah, I guess it's true.
So we're still going through the market. If it's your first time at this market, I would recommend you come early because there's so much to see. There's also a really lovely atmosphere here, especially if you're used to thrifting at flea markets where there's this kind of competitive energy going on, which I do enjoy as well. But the Oedo Antique Market has this sort of chilled out vibe to it, so I recommend you come down even if you're not shopping, but you want to have a look around and enjoy your morning. Some replica food there.
You're stuck in a buggy loop? Well, what
Over
happened,
here
Lomi
we
Tree?
have a akabeko, but a larger one. We saw from Fukushima Prefecture. Behind all these Sometsuke plates, can you see all
I
the
also
kimono? That is a row full of
don't you just think
kimono hobbies,
sometimes?
kimono-related products. Some really good lacquerware there. And opposite Plaza is where this row is.
I think like the older I get, the
Kimono-related
more like I
items.
don't want to
They
try
seem
new
to be there
things
all the time with
outside my
that.
comfort zone.
Down this row here, most of the kimonos are priced individually, but the haori and the mitsuyuki are usually around
But I'm
1,000
sorry to
yen.
hear Lonely
A
Tree.
haori is the equivalent of a Western cardigan, and mitsuyuki is the equivalent of a jacket. There's also another type, which is a coat.
Yeah, I
but
don't know. I just
mitsuyuki is
feel
the one with
like
buttons at the front.
as I grow older, I'm unlikely to like try new things, which is weird, right? But like rip Lonely Tree. What loop did you? Why don't I like this
We're
news?
now coming towards the opposite end of the market from Yurakucho Station, but it still goes on for a little bit longer.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I was recently talking to a friend. She's been trying to get into like gymnastics. She's been recently trying to get gymnastics, and she's kind of having a hard time like lifting herself off the ground. Actually, I think I was supposed to do this. Oh, I think I was just to actually follow the circle. So this is small idiot. One of my old men of my street taught himself how to play with Pokemon cards. And whatever his strength and weakness was, and with his damn adult money. This made our team. You can learn anything at other. It's true, oh my god. I'm honestly convinced very few people actually know how to play the Pokemon TCG. Because, I don't know. I think like a couple of months ago, there was like this tournament in GameStop, and I just showed up with like a fuck ass deck, and like I won because nobody showed up. And I was like, I guess this is why it's weird. This music is China. I don't know. Maybe? Weird choice. Weird choice we made here.
Walk video, at the end I do a really fast basic breakdown of woodblock print types, and there I show a Shiko from a calendar and to explain what Sosaku Hanga is. So I got that print from this stall. There's nothing like that here today, though. You just never know when
I
you
mean, I
go
do
to
like
markets, right?
postcards.
I'll leave the link to the Jimbocho Walk video in the corner here in case you haven't seen it and would like to. As these reproduction prints are so inexpensive, I think
Oh,
they'd be
still
good
didn't
for
see
crafts
that.
like covering your books. We love book covers in Japan, but that'd be kind of cool to do that. You could put a laminate on top. This is by Hiroshige, and it's of a festival scene.
Yeah, to give the
at
winner a
Senshan.
card.
It's the Jinja.
Like the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh!
By the glass. On a different day I was here, I overheard a seller explaining how they just don't have this sort of glassware anymore because all the craftspeople have.
Yeah, honestly, I
they-
could have
they
just
haven't
drew the
passed down
gender.
their techniques, so they're quite special. If there had been two of these exactly the same size and the same colors, I would have got them because I'm really into the muted colors at the moment. Here's a huge Maneki Neko, or lucky cat. And he's got his right paw up. That
Let's
means
see.
bringing in the money. They have different meanings, right and left. Some more glassware, but this would be from the Showa period. So towards the end of the Showa period, I would say 1970s to late 1980s. And we have finally reached the
This
other
is small.
end of the antique
So
market.
I should probably.
So if you're feeling claustrophobic, it's a good idea to come over here for a bit. I'm going to check out this stall because it has some kokeshi and some prints over there. So let's have a look what they've got. Oh, they've got these spools. Now, I've never bought the hexagonal ones before, but I do have some of them from a different market, and I use them to elevate my pot plants. They're actually very useful. Although these don't look as though they're in that great condition, but I quite like these hexagonal ones. Maybe I'll pick them up on another day, but they just looked a little bit out of shape. So
People that walk around in public vlogging scare me. How? Oh, I really want to do this, but I need to practice.
She was made of metal.
I'm gonna hold myself to it. Besides drawing and trying to learn a language, I want to learn how to like log. That was annoying. Oh, what happened on nature? Were you still looping?
There's Sosaku Hanga, which are creative prints, and the artist is Kihei Sasajima. He developed a new technique which was similar to stone rubbing. So can you see here that it is looking three-dimensional? Okay, let's check out the kokeshi. And she's a popular one. I'm sure you've seen her before. I'm surprised at how inexpensive she is for this market. She has got a little bit of damage there. But still, that's really good for Oedo because this one, the prices are a little bit more elevated than other antique markets. I feel I love this type of kokeshi from Tsugaru Mori Prefecture. I like the ones with the diorama painted at the bottom like this. And it does say Mitsuo. If it's Mori Mitsuo, that is a really good price. Usually it's double that or more. And I've never found her at the flea markets.
Oh wait, I was supposed to draw another layer. Oopsies. Oops, I was supposed to draw another layer. honestly, maybe I have improved. I give myself so much shit, but I'm like, maybe I have improved. Um, you stopped playing after you got to Sumeru. Honestly, I think it's been pretty good lately. I hate to say it after being so negative to Genshin. After being so negative with Genshin, I have to say, like, Genshin's actually pretty fun right now. Like, I'm actually excited. You have to essay it. Like, honestly, Luna Tree, what's your opinion? The moon is the best map. Ooh, I'm excited. Oh, I should explore the moon then. In Genshin so far, oh, I see.
Kimonos because I tend to have a look at the colors that suit me, and that's not blue. But I know for my art channel that people love blue. So just in case you're watching and this is your color, I have to say this felt exquisite. It was really lovely to the touch. This one too with the contrasting orange lining, and it is a bit more expensive because of the type of silk used and its condition.
I thought you had, well. No, I haven't explored the moon yet.
Which represents a woman who's deranged with jealousy that she turns into a demon. Super scary. And the last item of today is a medal designed by avant-garde artist Taro Okamoto. Okay, we're back at Yurakucho Station. And rather than a haul today, I'm going to leave you with some footage from around the Imperial Palace Moat and Yasukuni Shrine. I went there.
No, I only did the story.
Actually, in April, I had to go.
I've actually been like grinding out Honkai stuff.
Bit of a delay in editing and uploading, but thank you so much for watching.
But like, I would like.
Antique Market on your next visit to Tokyo. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I would like to. I would actually like to vlog. Because like, I don't know, I guess vlogging would be so interesting. I'll get there right now. Yeah, maybe I should. Have you guys like ever wondered if you were to like vlog, what would you like vlog? Like, what kind of content would you guys be interested in? I feel like I made it too smushed here. You get what I'm saying? I feel like I made it too squished here. I don't know what happened. Is it like the middle? Oh yeah, but like Mr. Laughing Man, like he's been drawing so much that you know it just takes time, I guess. Oh, the video's over. And I wish I just had the patience to get better. But sometimes I just get like really frustrated at times. Like, you get what I'm saying? Sometimes I just get really frustrated. where it was like, ugh, why is it not like amazing? What do you draw? Honestly, let's do it. I watched this
And in
ages
this
ago.
situation, you can also use reflective lighting to your advantage to differentiate. And this is how I draw now. So, what?
Oh, hey, Mr. Laughing. Oh,
Well, in this video, I will
Think of
teach
the
you
devil.
how to draw hair more realistically and show you how
Let me
I
do
render
this.
my hair so you can do it too. Thanks to our Patreon supporters for making
Oh, I guess I should put a reference, but how are you
this
doing?
video possible. It all started from understanding key fundamentals such as structural understanding, or the boring
Structural
anatomy stuff.
understanding.
Alright, let me start by saying everything is a shape.
Working on my
single
third
line
cat.
to
Oh, I'm
your
so
arm,
glad.
Porcupines, all forms can be understood by simple geometric shapes. Hence, there is no need to draw everything as an individual line. Instead, breaks things into shape like a 3D
Shape.
artist. If you look closely or observe its
I should have
overall
had
shape,
6
the
done
hair flow
by
always
now.
follows a specific direction,
Oh,
like a water
you're still
stream
doing a
that creates
lot,
structural
though.
shape from front, side,
Oh, I need to
to
pay
back,
attention.
based on different hairstyles. From that, you would notice that hair comes from a single point or line on the head. Paying attention to
point.
where the hair grows out will make it more believable and also help guide us
Do I
to
just
find where the hair
do I
should
pick the
start
point, or
and
do I
end.
have to like
Next,
just know where the point is?
understanding
Like,
volume and
like can I just put like, this point right here?
understanding the layering of hair and its volume is pretty important, so is
Let me
lighting.
take
Let's start
notes.
with a base color and block
Okay.
out the general shape and volume of the hair. This is only the beginning, so keep it simple. Don't worry about the details yet. Next, we will determine where the light source is and shade each big strand.
I don't
of
want to think
hair
about
to
lights right
create
now.
structure.
That's a later
Remember,
thing to
we're
learn.
working with masses of hair, not individual strands at this stage. Next, we will start the process of detail shading. You might think that shading is just making
Okay, she's doing
areas darker
shading. I
and
don't know how to do that yet. Yeah, of course. I always want to see what you're working on. Okay, I'm just gonna do some fake ass bangs. Do you draw from the top or the bottom first? I have a question. Like, when you draw hair, do you draw from the top or the bottom first? I didn't pay attention. Did she start from the top or the bottom
worry about the
first?
details yet. A specific direction, like a wall, that you would notice that hair comes from a single point or line on the
Single
head.
point.
Paying attention
Oh,
to
let me see. I draw from top. Oh, top. It makes sense, right? Because hair, you're going down, right? Oh my god, it's so good. Wait, how do you do your hair? It makes sense to start from the top for hair, right? Oh my god, it looks so good. I don't know why I started from the bottom. Wait, this is so good. Wait, hold on. What is this? Oh. I actually kind of wonder what's gonna happen when you like have like you move on from the phone. That's still on the phone, right? Honestly, we should probably just do the top. Also, and I start my hair where I feel like, oh, really? Interesting. Okay, let's look up our handy dandy reference. The font, oh my god, so impressive. So impressive. Uh, I'm in the shading stage. Should have done it an hour or so ago. Honestly, maybe you know, you're just working how you are. You know, this is how you're working. So maybe it's better if I just like, yeah, that's better. I was like, where am I starting? Okay, so you know, find a point. I'm just gonna draw a general shape so I just know where to go. And then like I'll figure it out later, you know. I'll just like figure it out later. Let me just map it out. I've done 12 attacks. Oh my god, wait. You've done so much. What if we just do this? I get it. How do I make it not look dumb? Like, it's okay. We're all just working at our own pace here. Um, then stream. Are you not focused? Honestly, streaming does kind of make me focus. Dare I say, yeah, streaming does make me focus when I'm trying to like do something. I like how she said like do general shapes, and I'm like, no. Um. Oh, this is so bad. Let's see. What if I'm overthinking it? I'm overthinking it. It's just
Where the hair grows out will make it more believable and also help guide us in drawing where the hair should
grows
start
out.
and end.
So
Next, understanding volume and light.
I feel
Understanding
like inches
layering
never
of
bad.
hair
Like the
and
worst was not
volume
horrible.
is pretty important, so is lighting. Let's start with a base color and block out the
Yeah, I
general
guess.
shape and volume.
Yeah, I
of
guess
the
you're
hair.
right.
This is only the beginning, so keep it simple. Don't
It's
worry
never been
about details.
unplayable.
Next, we will determine where the light source is and shade each big strand of the hair to create structure. Remember, we're working with masses of hair, not individual strands at this stage. Next, we will start the process of detailed shading. You might think that shading is just making areas darker and that's it, but there's much more than that. Here comes the principle of shading. Shading often consists of highlights, midtones, core shadows, reflected lights, and cast shadows. You can see how I've used this technique in my drawings to create more believable hair. This shading principle applies to everything. Skin,
The whole VA
clothes,
mess, oh my
metals,
god.
water,
You guys heard about the
literally
Genshin
everything. I suggest
VA
practicing
drama
the shading
part
technique
2?
on a sphere first if
Like,
you've never tried it, and later progress to more difficult shapes
like girl, I
organic
thought we were like
forms
over
or
it.
complex objects to get used to the principles. Or skip all that part and paint your hair, I guess. I'm in no position to tell you what to do. Well, that being said, I will show you how I use these techniques to paint my hair step by step. First, I start from a composition sketch. At this stage, I don't really care about how accurate it looks or what the details will be, but more about focusing on the flow of the composition, such as how the hair flows and the head direction. Next, I will start making a detailed sketch of the head, leaving them bald
And
initially.
H's VA, I don't
make
know,
sure
they
to
keep
add
like,
the hairline
they keep
so where I
targeting
can add
him,
guidelines to
and
know
I don't
where the hair
necessarily,
should start, and also
I don't know
determine how
why.
the forehead should be. Pro tip: create a new layer when drawing the
Yeah,
actual
they,
hair.
it's always
This
like
way,
a
if you were to
name.
make any mistake,
Has there like
only
ever
the
been like a
image will be the
CN
layer and not the whole head. Yeah.
VA
To draw
that
the
like
actual hair, I try to
acted so
imagine them as
unprofessionally?
ribbons, drawing them
Girl, I just
vertically
need to
per
draw a
se.
whole
And you can
axe.
see
Like,
on all the heads here, I
he's a
follow the
scab
steps
apparently.
of the
I heard like
hairstyle
something
to it.
else that
Remember to
like,
keep in mind as well that hair grows out of the head, making it puffs outward before bending downward due to gravity. Oh, and I made sure to determine where the split point of the head is and drew the hair spreading out from it, making sure it drapes down naturally. You could imagine how a ribbon would drape down from a sphere. I then place down my flat colors and begin shading. Starting from determining where the light should be, I shade each hair section roughly while also adding reflected light to the hair. To know where the reflected light should be, it's basically always placed directly opposite of where the main light source is. However,
she's
depending
speaking
on
in
the
terms I
surrounding
don't
surfaces,
really
it
know
can
the meaning
sometimes
of right
be
now.
just trying to understand where the light will bounce back to the character based on the surroundings. After that, I adjusted the colors to give background information and begin rendering. Let's get one thing
She's
straight.
speaking in terms I
Rendering
don't
hair
quite
isn't about
understand.
painting individual strands. It's about creating the illusion of thousands of strands through strategic shading and smart brushwork. Based on that, by imagining them as 3D shapes, I start my rendering process by establishing 3 distinct layers of information. First, the deepest shadow where hair masses overlap and create the darkest recesses. Second, the middle tones that make up the bulk of the hair's volume. And third, the highlight areas where light directly hits the hair surfaces. I mostly use lasso tool to quickly summarize the main shadow or bright area based on the hair color to create more clarity. Next, I start to add variation of value to it little by little, such as reflected light, highlight, and subsurface scattering, mostly to make the highlight less sharp and has a nice transition to the shadows. Real hair isn't just one color. Even the darkest black hair
The world
has
doesn't revolve
subtle
around
color
America.
variations based on the
I have no
environment. For
idea.
this specific portrait, I add warmer tones in the lighter areas and cooler tones in the shadows. This creates depth and makes the hair feel more three-dimensional. And from the looks of it, you can probably tell the environment is a snowy sunset. Now for the highlight.
You know, I think the problem is like maybe we should make our lights thinner.
Once you know your geometric shape,
It's like,
easy to
this
know
hair
where
looks
to
very
place it.
fat,
For me,
and
I follow the head contour, or I guess
that would
a
help if I
sphere
just made the
shape.
line
Or
thinner.
when it is not on the head area, I still
It's
am
like,
able to
I don't
switch
like how
long hair
thickened
as shape, such as a
these
silhouette,
lines
and
are.
based on that, I was able to place my highlights without any confusion or hesitation. For some lighting, light will pass through the hair, and for some, even around the edges. Hair isn't
I'll be
completely
like,
opaque,
"Self,
and
we
showing
could
its
just make the lines
translucency,
not thick."
especially in backlit situation, adds realism. And in this situation, you can also use reflective lighting to your advantage to differentiate different layers of the hair so it doesn't look blend together. I also pay attention what the color of the highlight will be based on the surrounding environment. If the sky is blue, the highlight will be blue. When it's in a greenish cold room, then it will be that color, and so on and so forth. Now to recap and put things simply, the head is sphere shaped, Hair is ribbon shape. From the split point, the ribbon shape drapes down from the sphere shape. Highlights follow the sphere contour, and so do shadows. When those ribbon shapes stack together, it creates shadows and casts shadows, all as shapes that shape together. And after all that, I clean some jagged edges, and we are done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you find this helpful. This topic has been in the scripting stage for half a year. Oh god. Yeah, I keep redoing the script over and over, and I don't want to do this ever again. Anyways, recently I've been boosting a lot more and meeting a bunch of you guys, and it's been very sweet to hear your support even after such a long time. You can follow my socials to be notified whenever I announce my next boosting, so maybe if we were at the same event, you can drop a hello before you go. But for those who have been asking for an online shop, I now finally have one after a bunch of testing and preparing the stores out. So for those who are interested in my merch, link will be in the description below. But yeah, if you are interested in the PNG, PSD, and speed paint of this artwork, be sure to go check out my Patreon, link is in the description. You can find this artwork on other platforms such as Instagram, X, TikTok, Thread, and more. All are linked in the description below.
Oh my
as
god,
well.
wait.
Comment down below what you want to see next that is not a tutorial, and maybe I'll try it out. Anyways, hope you have a great day, and I shall see you
let's
guys
just focus on one
next
thing.
time. Bye!
Let's just like pretend like that didn't happen. Let's just pretend. Whatever. I see the improvement, and then I still see like, oh my god. I don't get it. Let's watch a different video, maybe.
So, you want to draw hair. Okay, I don't know about you, but for the longest time, I had no idea how to approach it. It's so complicated. There are all these strands going all over the place, and if you draw all of the strands, it doesn't look good. But when you simplify it, it looks too plain. How are you supposed to approach it? What's the right balance? It took me a long time, but eventually, I was able to sort of figure it out, and got
I kind of
drawing
just
looking
realized
something
something.
like this. I'll share the steps I took in my thought process.
I have it.
Hopefully, it'll help you
I
figure
have
it
an
out
idea.
as well. So usually when I want to learn
Yeah,
how to draw
going
something, I just study how it looks like in real
no.
life, and it's no different this time. Let's study real life hair. I've been drawing for a while now, but I realized I've never actually studied real hair a single time. Well, there's a first time for everything, right? So let's give it a shot.
Here.
I started by taking a softish kind of brush and trying to directly copy what I saw, but it doesn't look very good. And I guess since it's my very first time, it's not the worst thing in the world that it's a bit messy. When I get confused by studying something, I try to simplify it down so I understand it better. So this time I tried restricting myself to fewer values, which helped a lot. I also tried looking for references with a stronger light source so that the light and shadow was clearly defined, which makes it easier for me to simplify. I also get to practice
how
drawing that
messy.
distinctive hair highlight that we love. From these studies, I learned that hair can be really shiny with big contrast, almost
Girl,
like metal
girl, I
or
don't need the
other
colors
kinds of
right now. I
reflective
just need to know how to
surfaces.
draw the
I
shape.
also did some studies of textured hair as well, which on the surface seems really different from straight hair. I'm really not the most experienced at drawing textured hair, so please forgive me if I'm not perfect at it. I tried my best, but in general, I approached it the same way, while trying to keep in mind the unique attributes of textured hair. First, start by getting the overall shape and silhouette right. The shape can actually get a lot more interesting than straight hair, and the hairstyles are also a lot more varied, so I took special care to make sure that the form read well with just 2 values. There's also lots of different types of curls, and I've honestly barely scratched the surface with this, so I can definitely get way deeper into it. I learned that for all types of hair, you don't really need to draw every single strand, but properly understanding the color properties of hair and having good control of values.
I can't
will
believe
make
like
it
the
look like
VAs
hair.
keep like
So during my
bullying.
hair studies, I felt like I was
Like,
definitely improving, but for some
what
reason,
happened to
something
professionalism?
felt off. Something felt really weird while I was doing these studies, and I couldn't quite put my finger on why. But But before we get to that, a word from today's sponsor, XP Pen. Okay, wait, even though this was sponsored, they asked me to do an honest review of the XP Pen Magic Drawing Pad, which is a sleek standalone Android drawing tablet. So first impressions. The box came with a bunch of things, like a pen, TPU case,
Professionalism
cable, and a
died.
nice tablet glove. The device itself is thin and portable, so it's perfect if you're looking to do some urban sketching while out and about. I also really appreciated how this device seemed to be designed for drawing, more than some other tablets on the markets. The screen is bright, colorful, and has a lovely textured matte surface that feels good to draw on. For me, the most important thing about a drawing tablet is that the pen feels fluid and responsive. The Magic Drawing Pad absolutely delivers. I would say that it felt like it had even less latency than any of my other display tablets from other brands.
What if we just roughly draw the
Unfortunately,
hair
it
and
being
then
an
like
Android tablet
hopefully
means that I may not have access to certain
looks
iOS
good?
or Windows-only drawing apps, even though there are a slew of perfectly capable Android drawing apps like Ibis Paint X, which comes free with this tablet. Overall, I think it's a great little device that's great for drawing on the go. Thanks again to XP Pen, and enjoy the rest of the video.
Oh my god, I have an
Before,
XP
I've
pen.
never studied real-life hair before, ever. But wait, that doesn't
That's my
exactly
let's just
make
keep like
sense.
let's just
How
keep
is it
scratching it until it
possible
looks
to draw
good and then
all
like make
these
a solid
characters?
line.
I mean, that's definitely hair. So how could I
Oh.
possibly be learning to draw hair for the first time if I already draw hair, if you know what I mean? I was actually going
Yeah,
kind of
girl, how do
crazy
you draw
because this
hair?
is always what I do to learn, so why wasn't it working this time? I don't get it. Am I freaking stupid? Why am I not understanding anything at all by drawing realistic hair? Thankfully, Jewfoot came to watch my stream, and he made the remark that hair specifically is a little different. For concept artists, it's not relevant to draw realistic hair? Yeah. Although I don't know if I count as a concept artist anymore. And stylized hair, compared to the rest of human, is specifically kind of different to its real-life counterpart. With his comments, I finally realized that the way I approach stylized or anime hair is completely different from real-life hair. And that's why it felt off. Nothing I was studying felt relevant because I just don't draw hair like this. So let me start again, but this time I'll approach it as stylized hair from the very beginning. So this is how I like to break down stylized hair. The first thing I like to keep in mind is that hair doesn't just vaguely exist. It grows from the scalp that sits on top of the skull, even
Yeah,
if I'm
girl.
drawing improbable anime hair.
Yeah,
So
girl,
first,
sure.
It isn't exactly a sphere, more like kind of a pill shape.
I love trope.
Then I sketch in the hairline. Then I like to determine where the hair originates.
I like
It
this
can be a
piece.
parting
I like
or a
this
wall.
part.
Your hair will come from this line or this point. And even if I'm drawing more realistic hair, I don't want to draw every individual strand. Instead, I
this
prefer to
part.
separate them into easier to understand chunks. I like to think of flat hair like ribbons, and ribbons are flat, which means that you
So
probably
keeping
don't
this
want to draw
part.
them as tube shapes unless
The
you're
rest
doing
can
lines.
go, but
Even if they are
the,
flat,
this
they
part
still
I like.
exist in
This is
3D,
like
which means that they can
let's just
bend
keep
around
this
the
part.
head and they can twist, and they might even have
I
a
like
little
this
bit of
part.
thickness. Wavier or curlier hair can even go in spirals. Now for textured hair, the same applies, but there's stuff to keep in mind because there's a lot more variety in hairstyles and more volume. Instead of breaking them down as ribbons, try identifying the larger shapes of the hairstyle. I use tubes if I'm drawing locks, and puffs kind of look like spheres to me. And once I figured out the main shape, I can add texture by breaking up the silhouette and adding a little bit of hatching. So now that I have a bunch of big shapes, how do I turn these shapes into hair? How do I make these ribbons look like hair? You may have heard that hair is just all about shape design, but what does that actually mean? Let's start with
Yeah,
the
girl,
basic
what does that
ribbon.
even
Pretty
mean?
boring, right? So let's add some interest by either cutting the ribbon or adding strands to
Okay,
it.
dare I say like today
But
seems
if I
different
just
because
cut it up
like
like
I'm
this,
having more
it
fun.
doesn't look very good, right? So how can I make it
It's
look
not
better?
frustration,
I like to
it's
think of
just
good
like
design as adding as much variation as
I'm
possible.
having more
So I can
fun.
try changing the widths of the strands. I can also vary up the lengths of the strands. Of course, this depends on how evenly the hair is cut, but I can also adjust where the strand starts splitting off to change
Is
the
it because
length.
I'm starting to
I
understand
can change
things?
the
I don't know.
angle. Again, that depends on how neat the hair is supposed to be, but changing the angle can also make it look more organic. I also like adding strands that cross over each other. Some people may be wondering how they're supposed to know how much to vary things. It's fine and all to say make them different, but how different? Both of these are different. Which one are people supposed to use? So there's this basic design principle I like to keep in mind when drawing hair. There's a specific ratio that generally looks pleasing, and I've heard that this ratio is approximately at a 70 to 30 ratio. I've also heard variations of this ratio like 60, 30, 10 as well. And the cool thing
Oh my god,
about
not her
this is that you
not
can
her
apply
saying
this
math
principle of this
term.
ratio recursively. If splitting the hair like this doesn't look detailed enough, I can go in and split it up even further. Now, that's definitely hair. It's time to move on to shading. Okay, so I think the biggest issue I used to struggle with is getting bogged down to the details of shading rather than keeping the overall shape in mind. And it's really easy to fall into this trap because if you think about hair in real life, it's really complicated.
Oh,
There's
that's
lots of
better.
strands, so don't we want to make sure to capture all of that detail? For me, it works better to try to keep the overall shape in mind and get down
Oh,
to
okay.
big
I hope you're a
shadow
step
shapes
lonely
first.
tree.
After I get these
I
shapes
feel like you've been
established and
working so
looking good,
hard
then I can start
with all your
applying the
videos and
texture by
stuff. Like, I hope you're
refining my
taking care of
shadow
yourself.
shapes. I do this by paying special attention to the edge of the shadow and the silhouettes. By doing something really simple like this, I can make the sphere look furry. If the edges of your shadow and silhouette look right, your brain will just fill in the rests. But what about highlights? Now, highlights are a type of specular, like that little spot of light you see right here. But on hair, this dot is stretched out because it's a type of anisotropic specular. Okay, that's a little bit complicated, so I won't cover it in this video.
Girl, what
but
the
in
hell
short,
did she just
having a lot of
say?
grooves
What
in
are
the
those?
same direction tends to
Aggregates
stretch
Henderson
out the
said,
specular.
oh, thank you.
The math of specular is a bit complicated.
It's a
but
very
generally
funny
you can
work
make a
in
good guess
progress.
by putting them approximately where the light is coming from. One thing to note for textured hair, though, is that because the strands tend to be less aligned, the specular appears less apparent and is less bright. The overall mass of hair acts a little bit more like a matte surface. Of course, this depends on the curl type and the overall styling. Okay, at this point, I would be happy to call it. I don't need to add more detail, and it looks enough like hair to me. But there's a couple of finishing touches I'd like to add to give it that extra special pop. These are optional. Well, everything is optional, but extra optional. I talked a lot about not needing to add texture, but adding some texture can help bring the overall piece together. If I do this, though, I make sure to keep it really subtle so I don't break up those shadow shapes I work so hard on. Then I add a little bit of color correction, and here's the final results. I think it turned out all right. Although, in particular, I feel like I could have worked on the face a little bit more. And I never intended to draw this silly anime hairstyle in such detail, so it looks a little bit funny, especially these mysterious floating hair antennae. So what do you think about the final result? Let me know in the comments. And draw some detailed hair for the subscribe button. Catch you next time. Bye-bye. One more time. Intro. Now, that's definitely hair. If you ask enough on YouTube videos, will you do a dragon tutorial? Yes. And that one is actually very likely because I've wanted to learn how to draw dragons for a very freaking long time. I really, really need to draw Monster Hunter fan art. It's not a want. I need to do Monster Hunter fan art.
Yeah, I don't want to think about these Monster Hunter Manor. Actually, it's not looking too bad now. I mean, it's not great, but it's not the greatest thing ever, but honestly, it looks like the Ace Attorney guy that has like the toupee. And the toupee like always falls off because like he always screws up. It kind of reminds me of that. It reminds me of the Winston Payne like toupee. Actually, yeah, it's like the It kind of reminds me of this. I'm thinking like, oh, Luna was the pain. Their essay, maybe it was the eagle.
Hi guys, my name is Marcel and today you're gonna learn how to draw like so. You know, I was thinking of what kind of video I should upload next to my English channel, so I decided to translate my video on how to draw hair for beginners. I was thinking about translating my big special video on how to draw in general, but I want the English version of this video to be perfect as well. So maybe I'll translate that video and my accent doesn't sound like I'm gonna invade Poland anymore. But in the meantime, here's a video on how to draw hair and hairstyles for beginners. Also, I could really need your help since my channel here is pretty tiny, even though I put a lot of effort into my videos, so a like and
This
a
must be a
comment
very
would really
early
be
Draw Like a
appreciated.
Sir
Thanks,
video.
you guys. And now,
'Cause he has
let's
2
get
million
the video going. I'm gonna
subscribers.
show you the basics of drawing hair.
Oh good, maybe he'll show me.
Now, before we start, there's something you absolutely have to know. And that is that there's all different kinds of art styles in which you can portray hair. You can portray it cartoony, elaborate, simple, crazy, or maybe not at all. Everyone has their own preferences, and so there is no objective good or bad here, just opinions. I'm also saying that because my videos tended to get shown in schools, and sadly teachers always turned off the video right when I was about to say that there is no objective good or bad art. But bottom line, I'm gonna show you how hair and hairstyles work, but you can apply your own style and technique if you want. So let's start from the beginning. Most people already start to struggle with step number 1, the baseline for the hair. Please be aware that there's more to your head than just your forehead. When your base is off, your hairstyle will be off as well.
Oh, I guess her
all of your
base
hair
is
comes
off.
from this spot right here. In Germany, we call it the Wirbel, which means vortex, and yes, I
The
did
what?
pronounce it that way on purpose.
The
I know,
weird.
we didn't draw any hair yet in this video about hair, but it's really important for you to know how to start off. This vortex decides the direction in which your hair goes, and with this knowledge, you should be able to draw something that at least resembles a hairstyle. The next point is that hair likes to be bundled together. This kinda makes sense because you wouldn't draw hair by hair individually, but rather strand by strand.
Okay, this is better than what we did last time.
Congratulations, you are now able to draw a run-of-the-mill mid-2000s Justin Bieber hairstyle. If you are someone with an eye for detail, you can add some more strands coming from the general direction of the vortex. Maybe some of them keep the direction
Oh
of
wait, the
and
vortex
some
should be
don't. I don't know.
above.
I don't
Oh,
know
that
the
makes
randomness.
sense.
You can also
If
draw
I made the
additional
vortex
strands over
above,
those strands. It's completely up to you how much more detail you add. Like I said
Oh,
before,
that
some
makes so
people
much
prefer
sense.
when
If I
the
did
hair is
that-
drawn more detailed and some don't.
Okay.
Also, something important about
I
hair
see.
physics
I
you
see
gotta
the
know, small
problem.
strands bond together and
But
tend to
honestly, we
combine
spent an
as a
hour and
bigger
a half
hair.
on one thing. Like, where's the we need to practice. Okay, so like, expect a little jank. Things are a little jank. But honestly, it looks better. Honestly, not bad. I guess one of these days we'll try to like shade one in, but like I don't think like any of these are like worthy to be shaded yet. So, yeah, this perspective is so horrible. It's just suicide. Okay, this is, you call this progression. Honestly, I should really force myself to just like post things and be like progress. Okay, let's pick something else. Call my path to being an artist. Yeah, it will take a while.
Three things that I thought would improve my art versus what actually improved my art. Buying expensive art supplies I saw professional artists use versus using what I had or buying relatively inexpensive art supplies that I wasn't intimidated by to use. Expensive art supplies aren't going to magically give you the skills to draw. Learn to work with what you have first, experiment and have fun. And once you have a better grasp of your skills and art supplies, you can always upgrade them later. 2. Read drawing photos from Pinterest to learn anatomy and proportions versus going to figure drawing classes and drawing from real life, aka plein air drawing, drawing people in cafes, etc. It doesn't have to cost money. Drawing from life is hard.
Oh, I forgot we were supposed to do figure drawing. Oh, sorry, there's like fireworks again. That's right, we have to do figure drawings. I forgot. That's part of my curriculum I made up for myself. It's okay. Like, it can't be as worse as that time I drew that, like, that giraffe lady by accident. Non-nude. Okay, let's go. Oh, where's my phone? I need my timer. It's like the most silly thing that YouTube does. Like, it recommends your own like videos, and I'd be like, it's kind of self-sabotage because at the same time you're just like, oh, I don't want to watch myself. But if you click away, it's just like, oh, people haven't been clicking on your things. Okay, let's go gesture drawing. A minute. Okay, let's go. Let's go, ho. Let's go. Oh my god, I'm not ready. Shit. This bitch. Oh my gosh, she's ruining me. Oh wait, I should do big strokes. So, like, your angles are like... Oh, is she looking like a giraffe again? Her foot's freaking me out. What is that? Oh, I did not know the minute passed. Close enough, girl. Close enough. Oh wait, a minute's fast. Wait. Oh, damn. Let's not pay attention to the stuff. Oh my god, wait. Uh-oh. Oh god, I ran out of time again. Shit, I ran out of room. Oh my god, where's my pen? Um... I don't think we're doing this right. Well, that lady, we did it the last time. She said, like, vibes. She goes by vibes, so. She said, just go for it. So. Pay no attention. We're busting a fist through her. Well, I guess she fisted herself. I ran out of room. Girl, I don't like this one. I like the other one better. Where's the other person? Okay, maybe we just like we can't do this. We need context.
If you ask any professional artist, they'll say that gesture drawing is one of the most important things that you could do. When you practice gesture drawing, you're practicing figuring out what the pose is doing, so then adding all of the structure and everything else on top becomes really easy.
Oh.
In this video, I'm going to be going
that makes more sense.
But for anybody that wants to learn more, I have a gesture course in my Gumroad. Go and check out the link in the description if you want to learn more. Thanks, and now into the lesson. Gesture drawing is all about finding the big, sweeping shapes of forms. So when I usually start, I find something like the clavicle first, and then the general sweep of what the body is doing. So in this case, there's sort of a giant C curve going throughout the whole body. And then from that, you can build a very, very quick torso to start extruding the arms and legs off of. And I'm generally trying to use very simple lines. This arm, for example, could be described in just 2 simple lines. And this one as well, just a single sweeping line. Taking those concepts into this drawing, I try to work big to small by finding the torso first. I'm keeping in mind the big sweep of the pose and simplifying as much as I can. At this point, I'm really not trying to be precious about accuracy. The goal here is to get an idea of what the pose is doing. Using C, S, and I lines to describe big parts of the body, I can go in later and start adding form and structure. Keep in mind that these drawings are meant to be a base for longer drawings. When you get good at this, it's pretty straightforward to take this to a finish. On top of the line of action, I'm really only looking for two shapes, the rib cage and pelvis. Once you find those, every other part of the body can be found pretty easily. If you're having trouble drawing people from imagination, try drawing a torso and extruding the rest of the body from it. As long as it follows a line of action, everything should work together as a whole. Drawing like this can be deceptively difficult. So if you can't do it in 30 seconds, do it in 2. If you can't do it in 2, do it in 5 or 10.
What?
Take as long as you need.
Excuse
Just try to keep
me.
in mind the concept of the line of action and trying to build.
She's
the
like,
image
30
of the
seconds,
off
no,
the
do
bat.
it in 2.
Whenever anyone talks about simplifying gesture or line quality in general, I think it's important to pay attention to and use only C, S, and I lines. Those are exactly what they sound like. Lines that go like this,
CSI like
lines that
Miami.
go like that, lines that go like that. Straight, just a simple C curve. If you start analyzing and looking at famous paintings, you'll start to notice how simple their line quality and the way they break down shapes actually is. For example, this arm can be explained in a very simple C curve into that hand. And there is some nuance going on with some of the anatomy stuff, like a simple break here and stuff, but it's all following the overall gesture of whatever this arm is doing. And when you start to think of the body and composition as a whole, you really start to understand how to compose better, how shapes fit together better, how ultimately the image as a whole fits
gotta get the
together
vision.
to create something more dynamic and fleshed out. You can do this exercise with any artist that you like, kind of breaking down their compositions and how they break down their gesture. What I'm trying to break away from now is contour drawing, which is drawing the outer shape of what's going on in a drawing. When I do that, it takes away from the gesture and the action of whatever the pose is doing. And when I start to break things down in a more gestural way, using only simple lines, it gets easier to add all of that stuff like gesture and value and everything else on top. But without that initial base, it gets really difficult to understand exactly what's going on. And as I'm doing these drawings, I'm kind of going back and forth between structure and gesture. I'm throwing down a simple line, and then on top of that, I'm going and adding some wrapping lines or something to start adding structure. But that first line tells me what the pose is doing, and the second adds the what it is or what is happening in perspective. To bring it all together, whenever I start a drawing, I'm really trying to drive home the fact that using simple C curves, straights, and S curves is probably the easiest way to start these sorts of drawings. I'm thinking about all this stuff and how it relates as a whole and trying to find potential rhythms.
Can you just imagine just to start I start drawing BL manga, and it's just like these like most random ass poses randomly. I'd be like, oh my god, look guys, look what I learned. And it's just like this with no context. I feel like that's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like, well.
And parts of the body that might be connecting together.
I feel like it's very common when you learn
help
something, you're
drive
like, I
home
wanna apply it
the
to my
idea of the gesture.
to everything.
And
Even when it's not like
all of this
appropriate.
stuff, again, is all about simplification.
Well, I guess like
trying to look at whatever the body is doing and
I guess this
break
pose
it
would be
down
good to like
whatever
be a burglar.
way seems the most appropriate. The
I don't know why I
easiest
said it like
possible
that.
way of explaining anything without overcomplicating. The overcomplicating and everything else comes after you have this figured out. When you skip to the end before having the structure kind of figured out or the gesture figured out, then the structure really starts to fall apart. And with these sorts of drawings, the ratio is probably 70% C curves, 20% S curves, and percent straights. I used a straight here, but mostly everything is just a simple C curve. And if you can get good at this, going through and adding the rib cage to then start adding some potential lighting scenario to it, to add anatomy, to add everything else that everyone is always talking about as the things to add in a drawing to make it look good, that stuff is completely reliant.
I guess we're
on
also
gesture.
doing a drawing stream
And
on
whether
Wednesday.
you want to draw like an animator
I did
or
tell Kahaka that, so.
a fine artist or a concept artist, understanding how this stuff works is essential to making any pose or any piece of artwork that you create look dynamic and interesting. And again, I'm really trying to overemphasize the idea of sphere here into another sphere here. Again, everything else can be added on top
I'm
pretty
gonna
easily,
snitch.
but
Oh.
everything is influenced by this initial shape first. And
I
this
guess we'll do it
working
on
is
Wednesday.
as important as making this whole thing read.
I guess tomorrow we'll
full
play
shape.
games.
The simpler, the better, always, for this sorts of drawing. If you do want to get better at this sort of stuff, the only thing you really can do is just a ton of it. I've spent hours in figure drawing classes trying to learn these concepts for hours and hours.
I was thinking, like,
repeating
maybe I
stuff,
should have bought a Rode
reiterating
mic
stuff,
instead of a
just to be
Hollyman
able to
mic,
understand
but
CS and I lines. The problem with this stuff is
Oh,
that it takes 5
well.
to 10 minutes to explain how it works, but then years to
okay, cool. Sure, let's watch this one.
Obviously, as Japan is the birthplace of Pokemon, it's probably one of the best countries in the world to visit if you're a Pokemon fan. You can shop at huge Pokemon centers, eat at a Pokemon cafe, search for rare cards, stay in a Pokemon-themed hotel, find Pokemon manhole covers across the country, and now even visit a prominent
manhole
Pokemon
covers.
attraction in Tokyo. But there is one problem. There is so much Pokemon content in Japan that it's very easy to make mistakes planning your trip around Pokemon. You might spend hours visiting several Pokemon centers only to realize that most of them sell many of the same products. You might assume that you can buy a sealed booster box anywhere in Japan and then discover that they are completely sold out. Or you might arrive at a Pokemon cafe or attraction without realizing that you needed to make the reservation weeks earlier. So this video is not going to be a list of every Pokemon related place in Japan. Instead, I'm going to show you how to choose the Pokemon experiences that actually match your interests, how to avoid the most common mistakes, and what you should check out before your trip. Hi everyone, it's Abby from PicTour. I'm a photographer and guide in Japan. You can see more about everything that we have here, and let's get into it. First off, what kind of Pokemon fan are you? Before adding Pokemon locations to your itinerary, you should first decide what kind of Pokemon fan you are, because someone looking for cute plushies will need a completely different itinerary than someone searching for vintage or valuable cards. I would divide most visitors into 4 general groups. The first is the merchandise hunter. You want plushies, keychains, stationery, clothing, seasonal Pikachu products, or Japan-exclusive souvenirs. The second is the card collector. You may be searching for new packs, sealed boxes, individual cards, vintage Japanese cards, or professionally graded cards. The third is the experience-focused fan. You want to visit the Pokemon Cafe, Poke Park Kanto, themed hotel rooms, special trains, USJ exhibits, or limited time exhibitions. And the fourth is the casual fan or family. You like Pokemon, but you don't need to have your entire trip revolve around it. You simply want to include 1 or 2 memorable Pokemon experiences while also exploring Japan. Of course, you can belong to more than one category, but knowing your main priority will stop you from filling your itinerary with places that sound exciting but don't actually offer what you're looking for. First up, how many Pokemon centers should you visit? For most international visitors, the first obvious destination is a Pokemon Center. There are official stores across Japan, including several in Tokyo, as well as locations in Kyoto, Osaka, Sapporo, Kanazawa,
Yeah, what's up,
Hiroshima,
Mr.
Kagawa,
Happy Food?
Fukuoka, and Okinawa. But here's the most important thing to understand. You probably don't need to visit all of them. Many standard products are sold at
We switched into
multiple
playing
Pokemon
Pokemon
centers. The display, statues, and atmosphere may be different,
Well.
but the main shelves do have a lot of overlap. So if you visit 5 Pokemon centers, you should not expect 5 completely different selections of merchandise. In Tokyo, I would normally recommend choosing 1 or 2 major locations based on the rest of your itinerary. Pokemon Center DX in Nihonbashi is especially convenient if you also want to visit the Pokemon Cafe, because they're in the same building. Pokemon Center Mega Tokyo in Ikebukuro is one of the largest stores, and Pikachu Suites is also located in the same Sunshine City complex. Pokemon Center Shibuya is inside Shibuya Parko, so it is easy to combine with Nintendo Tokyo and several other character and gaming stores. And Pokemon Center Skytree Town works well if you're already planning to visit Tokyo Skytree. Of course, the same principle applies outside Tokyo. Visit Pokemon Center Kyoto if it naturally fits into your Kyoto sightseeing day. Visit Pokemon Center Osaka DX if you're going to the Pokemon Cafe in Osaka or exploring Shinsaibashi. Pokemon Center Osaka in Umeda is more convenient if you're staying near Osaka Station. Pokemon Center Okinawa is worth checking out if your itinerary, of course, includes Okinawa, particularly because Okinawa's regional Pokemon is Growlithe, who is incredibly adorable. But maybe do not travel across an entire city simply because another Pokemon Center exists there. Instead, choose stores that combine well with places that you already want to visit. But also, keep in mind if you go to one of the large Pokemon centers in Tokyo or Osaka, you may end up waiting in line for the register for anywhere from 5 minutes to almost an hour depending on the day. On a totally regular weekday, Maddie and I both reported that we ended up spending about 30 minutes waiting in line at the register. She went to Pokemon Center Umeda to get the Valentine's Day Pikachu, and I go every so often, as you can see, to Pokemon Center Kyoto, and I typically wait in line for about 20 minutes on a weekday at the most though. In the past, Pokemon stores have even required timed entry tickets just to enter the stores, mainly in Osaka and Tokyo, and while we haven't seen this happen for a while, just be prepared if the Pokemon Center is a big priority for your trip. Make sure to allot enough time, of course, for your Pokemon Center visits, without any major reservations or events directly after you're planning to shop there. If a more relaxed visit to the Pokemon Center is what you're looking for, then out of all the major cities in our experience, the one in Kyoto is the calmest. It can get a little busy at times, but I do believe it is the calmest. Also remember that smaller Pokemon stores can be found in places like Tokyo Station and some airports. These can be useful for last-minute souvenirs, but they're generally smaller than a full Pokemon Center, and they have a more limited selection. However, places like the airports do have exclusive Pikachu plushies and plushie keychains with the name airport
exclusive
embroidered on their little
Pokemon
jackets, which is adorable and a perfect way to remember your trip. So convenient backup options, not necessarily the main destination for a serious collector. What about how to find limited plushies and merchandise? One of the most popular products among international visitors is Pokemon Fit. These are small, palm-sized plushies.
So gesture drawing.
The range includes many Pokemon that rarely receive large plush toys, with the concept that anybody can find their favorite
Gesture
Pokemon,
drawings.
because every Pokemon is somebody's favorite. So if your favorite is Relicanth for some reason, congrats. Here he is, just for you. They are small and easy to pack, relatively easy to display at home, and you can search for Pokemon from different generations. For many travelers, Pokemon Fit is a better souvenir than a huge plushie that takes up half of your suitcase, though I probably disagree with that. But Pokemon Fit is only one series. You may also find Pokemon dolls, mascot keychains, seasonal designs, especially featuring Pikachu, but also other Pokemon, game-related collections, anniversary products, cafe merchandise. There's also, of course, regional Pokemon products connected to local tourism campaigns, which we will talk about later. However, limited does not always mean that every item is permanently exclusive to one store. Some products may initially be connected to a location or event, but later appear online or in other shops. So if exclusivity is important to you, check out the official product information instead of relying only on labels made by resellers. And of course, the other major issue is stock. There's no simple tourist-friendly system that allows you to check the live inventory of every Pokemon Center in Japan. So a product may seem available online, but unavailable in the physical store that you visit. It may also be sold out online, but still appear in a particular shop. So before your trip, I recommend doing 4 things. First, search Pokemon Center online and find the exact product you want. Second, save the Japanese product name. Third, take a screenshot of the item. And fourth, show the image to a staff member when you visit the store. This is much easier than trying to describe a very specific version of Pikachu using gestures. And if you find something that's genuinely important to you, do not assume you can return and buy it on the final day of your trip. Popular products can and do sell out all the time. Restock dates often not announced, and some items may never return. Of course,
Oh.
you don't need to panic buy everything that you see, but I would separate your shopping list into priority items and optional items. Buy the priority item when you find it. You can wait and compare prices or designs for the optional items. Now let's talk about Pokemon cards, because this is where expectations and reality can be very different. So yes, Pokemon cards are sold in Japan. You can find them at Pokemon centers, specialist card stores, registered Pokemon card gym locations, electronics retailers, toy shops, some bookstores, and even some convenience stores. But being in Japan does not mean that you can walk into any store and buy a sealed booster box at retail price. In fact, it's probably not a good time investment during your trip. So in recent years, especially because of the 30th anniversary in 2026, it's basically a part-time job to collect Pokemon cards. And even for residents of Japan, it takes significant time and effort to get your hands on them. There are basically Pokemon card zombies roaming the streets all across the nation. For a popular release, the product will more often than not be sold through a lottery system. Japan does love a lottery system, and it will be limited to a few packs per customer. There are sometimes even age restrictions to ensure that children can get booster packs before adult collectors and pretty much resellers
What?
swoop in and
I
buy
guess
them
it
all.
makes sense.
Sometimes you will even need to show identification, or the stores would just have no stock at all. If a new set is being released during your trip, check the release date before arriving in Japan. Then check how many major
I
retailers
don't know
are
if
planning to
I'm
sell it.
doing this gesture
Some stores
right.
accept lottery applications days or weeks in advance, and the application may
I
require
don't
a
know if we're
Japanese
doing the
account,
gesture
a local
drawing
app,
right.
Japanese phone number, and often a Japanese address, and that can make it nearly impossible for short-term international visitors. Other stores sometimes offer normal sales, but
Oh, hey,
impose
the
strict
perspective
purchase
looks pretty
limits.
good.
If it's not sold via lottery
Drawing
and there's a
can use
normal sale
word.
release, the lines either
You gotta
fill up
run
within
away.
an
Have fun
hour
with
of
the
store
art bomb.
opening,
But thank you
or
for
require a very long wait
stopping
to
by,
just buy one
Navi. I hope
box
you have a
at
good
time seal.
time
So if you're
or
really
a good
dedicated, get in
day.
line well before the store opens and be prepared with
Yeah, I
your
really
ID.
appreciate it.
In Maddie's experience, she found a non-lottery release at Edion in front of Kyoto Station,
Bye, Navi.
and they waited in line for 3 hours to get it, and it required an ID. So you should also check whether seal boxes keep their original plastic wrapping. More and more shops remove the shrink wrap when selling a box to discourage resale, especially these like Edion, Yamada Denki, and other major electronics and department stores. So if you're collecting sealed products, ask about this before paying. And of course, remember that cards sold in Japan are pretty much Japanese language cards. If you want English language cards, a normal Pokemon Center is not really the best place to search. You would need to look for specialist stores that carry imported products, and prices may be much higher than in the card's original market. Overall, if you just want to get a new booster pack that's not so popular, you will probably have luck at electronic stores, department stores, and card shops. However, if you're looking for popular booster packs, it will not be a casual pop-in to a store unless you get very lucky and discover them before the horde does. We've had customers on tours ask where to get the popular booster packs because their friend casually asked them to bring one back. And if you're not a Pokemon fan and your friend asks you to bring them a specific booster pack, you can respectfully tell them, ain't nobody got time for that. If you're looking for a specific card, buying random packs is definitely
See,
not
this
the
kind
best
of
use
looks
of
like
your time or money.
this
Japan
kind of
has
looks kind of
many specialist stores selling individual cards. In Tokyo, one of the best known options is Hareruya in Akihabara. Its main tower focuses heavily on Pokemon cards, including modern singles, older Japanese cards, promotional cards, high value cards, and accessories. It also has a large play area. There's also a nearby annex that focuses more on buying and selling cards. So in Osaka, Harajuya to Namba is convenient for visitors exploring Namba and the Nipponbashi or Denden Town area. You will also see chains such as Card Labo, Dragon Star, and Mint in major cities. The important thing is not to buy an expensive card from the first store that you enter. Look around, go to different stores, especially ones in maybe slightly more out-of-the-way locations, and they might be selling them there for significantly less, possibly. In most of the stores in big cities, the price that they're listing is quite a bit above the regular resale price online and at smaller stores. If you're a serious collector, of course, you know how to do your research before going shopping, and you probably know the pros and cons of buying these at stores versus online. But the best thing about buying these cards at the store, instead of online for the cheaper price, is the fact that you're able to see the card and check the condition before purchase. Another word you'll often see is oripa. Oripa is short for original pack, and these are mystery packs created by the individual card store. They're not normal official Pokemon booster packs. So a store may advertise the possibility of winning a valuable card, but the result is random and the expected value is often much lower than the price that you pay. So treat Oripa as entertainment, not as a reliable way to buy valuable cards or make money. Next up, if you're searching for an older plushie, a discontinued item, or merchandise from a past event, the official Pokemon Center is obviously not going to be useful at all. This is when Japan's secondhand shops become much more interesting. So Surugaya carries plushies, figures, cards, games, and character merchandise, but the inventory is different in every branch, so one store may be excellent for Pokemon while another has very little. Mandarake is especially useful for older and more collectible merchandise. In Tokyo, Nakano Broadway and Akihabara are major locations, and there's also branches in cities such as Osaka, Nagoya, Sapporo, and Fukuoka. Book Off and Book Off Super Bazaar can also have games, cards, toys, and plushies. Large suburban branches of Book Off can sometimes be surprisingly good because they have more space and they receive more types of items. I generally recommend, if you're really hardcore about secondhand shopping, leaving main city areas and going a little bit more into suburban areas. It might take a little more struggle to get there. Usually just that includes maybe taking a bit of a train or just a taxi. Typically these aren't even that far. It's just out of where the average tourist thinks to go, and that is where I always choose to go and always have a much more pleasant experience and have a lot more variety to spend my money on. And then Lashingbang is another option, especially for smaller character merchandise such as badges, acrylic stands, keychains. By the way, here are some useful Japanese for you. For plushies, the original paper tag can significantly affect the price. Check for stains, smells, missing accessories, and damage, and be careful with items labeled junk. In Japan, junk normally means that the store does not guarantee the condition or functionality. It does not necessarily mean that the item is completely unusable, but you are accepting the risk. Secondhand shopping is less predictable than visiting a Pokemon Center, but that's also part of what makes it quite fun. Let's talk about Pokemon experiences that need advanced planning. Pokemon travel in Japan is no longer only about shopping. Some of the most memorable experiences now require reservations, timed entry, or an entire half day in your itinerary. The biggest new example being Poke Park Kanto. Poke Park Kanto is a permanent Pokemon attraction inside Yomiuri Land in Inagi, Tokyo. It includes Pokemon Forest, Sedge Town, and an entrance area. This is not located in central Tokyo, so do not treat it like a quick shop you can visit between Shibuya and Tokyo Station. You need to include the transportation time, entry procedures, and the amount of time you want to spend inside in your itinerary. So for most travelers, I would reserve at least half a day. You also need to understand the ticket options. Depending on the pass, access may include Pokemon Forest, the town area, or additional benefits. Overseas residents should use the official English language ticket information rather than buying from an unofficial reseller, which honestly, I think that rule should apply to almost anything that you do here. The second major reservation is the Pokemon Cafe. There are Pokemon cafes in Tokyo and Osaka. The Tokyo Cafe is in the same building as Pokemon Center Tokyo DX, and the Osaka Cafe is connected to Pokemon Center Osaka DX. You should treat both as reservation-based attractions, not as normal restaurants where you just casually arrive and wait for a table. Reservation availability can disappear quickly, especially during weekends, holidays, and busy travel seasons. Menu items also change, so check the current menu shortly before your visit. Some merchandise is connected specifically to the cafe and may not be sold in normal Pokemon Center shops. So if you can't get a Pokemon Cafe reservation in Tokyo, Pikachu Sweets in Ikebukuro is a much easier alternative. It's more casual, more focused on takeaway food and drinks, and is in the same Sunshine City complex as the Pokemon Center Mega Tokyo. Next up is Universal Studios Japan. Pokemon content at USJ is not always the same, and it's also not always particularly prominent. Depending on your travel dates, there may be Pokemon characters in the parade, a Halloween show, and greetings or themed food or exclusive merchandise. But you should never assume that something you saw in an older YouTube video will still be available during your visit. You can check the official event information online for your exact date. And the daily show schedule is normally released much closer to the visit, so check again about a week before going. You may see exclusive hats, plush keychains, shoulder mascots, and other USJ merchandise, but stock and purchase limits, of course, can change. USJ and the Pokemon Company have also announced plans to develop more immersive Pokemon experiences, so future visitors should always check whether something new has opened. Families can also make their accommodation part of the experience. Selected Mimaru apartment hotels in Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka actually have Pokemon rooms. They're designed for families in groups, often with kitchens, Pokemon decorations, themed tableware, and a large Snorlax. These rooms are normally more expensive than standard rooms, and they book out early, but for a child or a very dedicated adult fan, staying there may be more memorable than visiting another merchandise shop. Next, some of my favorite Pokemon locations are not stores or ticketed attractions. They are Pokelids, or Pokemon manhole covers. These official manhole covers combine particular Pokemon with different regions of Japan. You can find them in parks, near stations, beside tourist attractions, and in smaller cities that many international visitors would never otherwise think about visiting. The official Pokemon Local Acts website provides regional, list, and map links. Of course, for a normal Japan itinerary, you do not need to collect dozens of them. Instead, find 2 to 5 that fit naturally into places that you're already visiting. In Tokyo, there are Pokelids in areas such as Ueno and Machida, as well as around Pokepark Kanto. Kyoto Prefecture also has several, including locations that can be combined with a trip to Uji. Yokohama's Pokelids can be added to a day around Minato Mirai. And Okinawa has Growlithe designs connected to its regional Pokemon campaign. Before going, save the exact location on Google Maps. A manhole cover may technically be in the same city as your hotel, but still require a long train or bus ride. And obviously, if you're taking pictures of it, please don't step into the road or block other people. But Pokelids are connected to a larger regional tourism project, this Pokemon Local Acts, where different prefectures have different representative Pokemon. For example, Slowpoke is connected to Kagawa. It might humor you to know that the Japanese name Yadon sounds like udon, which is what Kagawa is famous for. Sandshrew is connected to Tottori, Lapras represents Miyagi, Geodude represents Iwate, Chansey represents Fukushima, Dragonite is connected to Fukui, and Growlithe, of course, represents Okinawa. These regional Pokemon can appear on local souvenirs, snacks, stationery, trains, buses, signs, tourism offices, and temporary events. And importantly, these products are not always sold at Pokemon centers. So when traveling outside Japan's largest cities, search the name of the prefecture together with Pokemon Local Acts before you go. I think it's a fantastic way to sort of incentivize travel, especially in Japanese people as well, to places that are a little bit more out of the way. And it's a great way to make a normal sightseeing day more interesting for children. Instead of telling them that you are simply walking through another park, another shopping street, you can give them a small Pokemon mission. What about Pokemon trains, transportation, and Pokemon Go? Depending on your route and travel dates, you may also find Pokemon-themed transportation. One of the best known examples is the Pokemon with You train operated by JR East in the Tohoku region. It doesn't operate like a normal daily commuter train. It runs on selected dates, all seats are reserved, and seat reservations generally become available 1 month before travel. So I would only add it if you're already planning to visit the region and the operating date fits your itinerary. At different times, Japan may also have Pokemon-wrapped trains, buses, aircraft, airport displays, station stamps, and stamp rallies, and these change very frequently, so search your destination and travel dates instead of relying on an old list. Pokemon Go players should also check the official event calendar. There may be community days, city safari events, Go Fest events, special raids, or other location-based activities during your visit. Pokelids may also be connected to Pokestops, and major parks and station areas often have many gyms and Pokestops. But please don't just stop suddenly in busy stations or block sidewalks while looking at your phone, which I do witness frequently enough still in the year of our Lord 2026. Japan's large train stations can already be confusing without a group of distracted Pokemon trainers standing in the middle of the exit. Now, I want to know your answer. What is your favorite Pokemon? And what would be the #1 Pokemon experience you would want to have in Japan? Let me know in the comments. And if you're planning a trip to Japan, make sure you subscribe for more practical travel advice that helps you enjoy Japan without wasting your time or making common
This to be more
mistakes.
like this.
That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of my collection that I have here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Yeah, it makes more sense. Oh. Oh, Spaz Attack, how are you doing? Oh, welcome, Raiders. I don't know if we have any mods. But, like, how is stream? Welcome, Raiders. We're trying to learn how to draw. Hi. What'd you do today? And how is everybody doing? We're just chilling with drawing. Slowly but surely. We will learn perspective. We played Slay the Spire, my buddies, and with my buddy Ramax, he's new, and got some lucky with this guy. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I heard Slay the Spire is pretty good. Oh. Let's see. Cool. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. It's super addicting. Oh, I'd have to check it out. I think it might be on sale in the Steam Summer event. Let's see. I think the past 2 hours we've just been trying to draw. It's a slow process, but it's honestly it's a nice break from playing games all the time. So are we at a point where we're like cool fit? No. But it's fun. I hope you had like a good day and everything, and I hope you had a good rest. You're gonna have a good rest and pre-stream ritual. You know, we all gotta take care of ourselves and lately in this like year. So I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope everybody's gonna have like stay safe and all that. Yeah, that makes more sense if the muscles are like this. Some more anatomy practice, I guess. Hope the stream is great. Oh, thank you. I wish you all the best too. Okay. I guess you can watch this guy thrift, but what else? Yes, drawing. History.
I've drawn for nearly a decade, and I've been in art school for almost 2 years, and these are the 25 most effective exercises that have changed my art from this to this, and I think they'll help you too. These exercises have been directly taken from professionals like Peter Han, Tom Fox Draws, Stephen Hampton, Antonio from Artwad, and Kim Jung-gi, and they've been separated into 5 levels to make it easy to progress from levels 1 to 5. So without further ado, let's get into exercise number 1. Starting at level 1, exercise 1, we're going to do curved and straight lines. These are the absolute basics to get your hand cooperating with your mind. You want to draw 3 sets of lines, one using your wrist, the next using your elbow, and the last using your whole arm. Go over each of them 8 times, and this will train your hand-eye coordination as well as your muscle memory. This one is recommended by Peter Hahn in his book, The Dynamic Bible. Number 2, point coordination. Put a point on your paper and draw a straight line through it, starting on one side of the dot and ending on the other.
Oh, that's the first one.
You start from the dot. Starting at level 1, exercise 1, we're going to do curved and straight lines. These are the absolute basics to get your hand cooperating with your mind. You want to draw 3 sets of lines, one using your wrist, the next using your elbow, and the last using your whole arm. Go over each of them 8 times, and this will train your hand-eye coordination as well as your muscle memory. This one is recommended by Peter Hahn in his book, The Dynamic Bible.
Oops. Okay. Well, I guess I guess they're right. I guess he was right, actually. My lines are so not confident.
Number 2, point coordination.
What's
Put a
point
point on your
coordination?
paper and draw a straight line through it, starting on one side of the dot and ending on the other. The further away you start from the dot, the more difficult it is. Make
Ow.
sure your lines are straight and cut through the dot.
Ow.
This exercise is meant to train your hand-eye coordination as well.
No hand-eye coordination. Ooh.
Exercise 3, flattening planes. Draw a progressing series of squares, starting from a straight line and turning inward until you reach the flat-facing square,
I missed
then
that.
rotating away until the square becomes flat again. Then do the same thing with a circle. If you're uncomfortable doing this with the circle, begin with the square and you can fit your circle into the square. You might have a question, how do I match the ellipse to the degree of the square? That's going to be shown later in the video at level 3. Exercise number 4, parallel ellipses. Draw a straight line and draw ellipses that are centered by that straight line. The ellipses can be varying in size. Just make sure that they're perpendicular to the line. These exercises are critical in observational drawings like these vases or even these fish. Exercise number 5, ribbons. Draw a random curvy line somewhere on your page and then repeat that same line and connect them with parallel lines. The exercise here is to get used to repeating the same line as well as seeing depth on the page without the need for a perspective grid. Okay, that's it for level 1. That should get your hand on the same page as your eyes as we move on to level 2, where we're doing more cognitive, abstract imagination. If you're fairly new to drawing, I'd recommend doing this every day, only for about 5 to 10 minutes, just to get your muscle memory activated and quickly have your hand on the same page as your eye. Exercise number 6, extrusion. Similar to the ribbon, draw a shape and then repeat that shape elsewhere on the page and connect them with lines. The further you draw your shape, the more depth your object is going to have. If you're having trouble thinking of shapes, start simple. Think of a simple square, think of a trapezoid, a rhombus, a diamond shape, and as you get more advanced, you can do letters. Exercise number 7, box stacking. Draw boxes that feel like they're stacked on top of one another. You can draw them uniform, but as you get more comfortable, try to rotate them in different directions and expand the scope of your scene. If you're new to this exercise, you want to draw through your boxes with construction lines so that you can really visualize the space that these boxes are taking up. Exercise number 8, cylinders. Draw a bunch of cylinders stacked together or going back in space. Imagine a snake cut in half and think about how the volumes would look. With these basic volume exercises, the goal is to get to a level where you don't need a perspective grid to visualize these. You're probably not going to start out this way, so feel free to use as much construction as you want in the beginning, but really try to think through these objects and always imagine that you are actually seeing these objects. The best metaphor I've ever heard for perspective is to Imagine that your piece of paper is just a window, and what you're seeing in the paper is just the other side of your world
Oh, I
that
see.
you're looking directly at. You want
See.
your objects to feel like they have a solid mass. Now, obviously, that's easier said than done. If you can't yet visualize forms stacking together, then continue watching the video because there are some exercises that specifically target that. Exercise number 9. This one is also from Peter Hahn. It's organic forms. Create a random blob-like shape and draw a line through it. This line is the center line of the shape, and create contours around the blob to give it a sense of three-dimensionality. You want to be unique without being too complicated here. The goal of this exercise is to gain a sense of form from a 2D shape. You want to be able to draw a shape and visualize how contours might give it some depth. If you want to take this one step further, you could shade the form as a bonus, or create branching forms to ramp up the complexity. And exercise number 10 is an exercise from Zeph Draws, who is a fantastic illustrator and also on YouTube, so check him out after this video. And the exercise is stacking and queuing. Draw a series of forms lined up in space, going vertically and horizontally. Imagine how the perspective would shift as they go from the left side of your vision to the right, and from the bottom of your vision to the top. The point of this exercise is to develop your sense of intuitive space. Obviously, once again, this is going to be a really difficult exercise to do without construction if you've never done it before. So take what you know about the basics of one-point perspective and apply the perspective grid to the forms and attempt to build out your forms with the grid. Now, you will inevitably come across some confusions, and the grids are not going to perfectly fit the forms you see. My recommendation is to start by copying the artists that you love. So, for example, copy the drawings I'm doing right now, or copy the drawings from Zeph Draws' YouTube channel. By the way, all the artists who are referenced in this video will be linked down below, so you could go look at their work for yourself.
So much to learn.
They're professional.
So much
I'm
to
not,
learn.
So take it.
I think there's also a time where there's a period where I try to absorb too much knowledge, and then I'm just like, huh? Yeah, it's pretty fun. Let's see. Like a two and a half hour art session. Not too bad, actually. I know we just got hosted, but let's see. 5 minutes ago. We can like stream a little bit longer. Hopefully we got other people. Oh, we don't really have anybody. Well done. Let's see. So, I say we try to draw one last character.
Number 1, blind boxes. I feel like this.
Confirmed. This place is the Japan that you guys have dreamed of. Kimono, history, food, geisha, sweets. This walkable samurai town is the place to be. Hi everyone, it's Abby from Pictour, and I'm a photographer and guide in Japan. A lot of you are missing a city that is as beautiful as Kyoto, but without all the problems of over-tourism. I live and work in Kyoto with love, but Kanazawa is a city that you should highly, highly recommend adding to your itinerary. Today, you're going to want to stick with me, and I'm going to show you all the best places to go here. Let's start here at Kanazawa Station.
So when most of you get to Kanazawa, you'll probably end up here at Kanazawa Station. Kanazawa is not as far away as some of you might think. So from Tokyo, it's only about 2.5 hours, and from Kyoto, it's only about 2 hours. So you can easily coordinate Kanazawa into your trip. And this place is already really cool. So you can see behind me this big gate. This is the Tsuzumi Mon, Tsuzumi Gate. So what is a Tsuzumi? It's a little drum that's used in Noh stage performances. So that already characterizes Kanazawa as a place that's going to be rich in culture and arts. And if you view the station from a different angle, it's said to look like a samurai helmet. So that also ties into the unique history of the city, which we'll talk about more as we walk around today. From here, I'm gonna go change into a kimono, and we're gonna head over to one of Japan's 3 great gardens. Let's go. Alright, so I have changed into my kimono, which I got at a really nice place that will be in my blog. I'll recommend it to you guys. But we are here at Ken Rokuen. This place is super big, so there's a lot of different entrances. We're at the Katsurazaka entrance, which is about 10 minutes by taxi or about 20 minutes by bus from Kanazawa Station. So you can see behind me is Kanazawa Castle. We'll be there later, but because these two are right next to each other, they actually sell a combined ticket, which I recommend getting, and it's only 500 yen. So you can get into the garden plus the castle for only 500 yen, which is actually cheaper than a lot of places like just one. So that's really nice that that's affordable. So before we go inside, they have this really cute little street of shops. So we're gonna walk down here and I'm gonna get a snack because you guys know I like to start all my videos with a snack. Alright, so the place we're gonna check out is right here in the corner. It's called Kinjo Te. So you can see right here, we have a golden ice cream. So today we're going to eat some gold. We're gonna live a bougie life. So if you're wondering why exactly we're eating gold here, Kanazawa actually is famous for its production of gold leaf. The city currently produces over 99% of Japan's gold leaf. Kanazawa became famous for its gold leaf production due to its climate, due to its abundant natural resources, and of course, due to strong support from the Maeda clan during the Edo period. So during the Edo period, the Maeda clan was the second most wealthy and powerful clan in Japan other than the Tokugawa shogunate. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later, but I am hungry and I'm ready to eat some gold, I guess. So, let's go. Ooh. Alright, so we ordered the ice cream with gold leaf and we ordered one other thing that I'll show you when it arrives. I got to watch this little video and then you guys will get to learn from me. I'm obviously going to be a master of this. You guys know me. That's a joke. Can't wait to completely fail this. So there's gold leaf here, and I already screwed it up. It's okay, I'm the one eating it. I'm not serving this. Okay, we're gonna grab... This is really hard. Okay, we're gonna grab the gold leaf. I'm gonna grab it here. Okay, it's sticking. Okay, the wind is blowing it. Everyone blow into the screen, please. Everyone blow really hard, please. Please, you're not blowing hard enough. Okay. There we go. I told you guys I'd be good at this.
It's really bad.
It's really bad, but you know what? It's wabi-sabi, obviously. Alright, so here's my gold leaf ice cream. Let's try it. And yes, you can eat gold. Apparently it just goes right through you. So, here we go. You can't even taste it. But the ice cream is really good. It's really soft. It's just like having a little thin piece of paper on it. So I got the mix. I got the vanilla and the matcha. You can indeed get matcha outside of Kyoto. So don't underestimate the logistics of Japan. The Amazon arrives the next day or the same day even. So yes, you can have matcha anywhere. Yes, you can eat Kobe beef anywhere. And I'm gonna enjoy my matcha ice cream here. He got very fancy gold red bean soup. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life, and I can't believe we spent money on this, but show them the soup. got red bean and little mochi. Do you feel like an emperor today? Do you feel like you're part of the Maeda clan? Enjoy. If you eat it with a spoon, you create art. Now we have a beautiful spoon. This is so ridiculous. My ice cream's so good though. And you have this nice, like, peaceful little area to enjoy. So the shop we went to was right there. And you can see it down here. There's a lot of different stores. And honestly, they're all like a tad overpriced. But they have fun stuff like matcha and lunch foods and more ice cream. Obviously, you can never have enough ice cream. So now that we have seen that and I have ice cream in my stomach, let's head in to the garden. I'm really excited to see it. All right, so we're heading in and there's still snow on the ground. I'm so excited. Kyoto has super beautiful gardens and all, but Kyoto gets maybe one day a year of snow, and Kanazawa gets lots of snow. So I'm so excited to enjoy this. And it's, what is it right now? It's the beginning of February. It's not even too cold. I'm in a kimono and I'm like, A-okay. All right, so first of all, this is kind of amazing. Like, look at this view. You can see the mountains over there. But if you look right here, you'll see this pine tree has a little something poking out of it. And so do the other ones. So this is called Yuki Tsuri. And what it does is it protects the tree from snow. So these are a really delicate kind of pine tree. You can see how they're not quite so tall. So to keep the snow from crushing them during the winter and until the beginning of spring, they put this little rope over it. But it kind of has its own unique little look to it, which is really pretty. So over here to the right, there is a lantern. And this lantern actually is very special. So this cool little lantern is called the Kotoji Toro lantern. And it's called Kotoji after a koto, which is a Japanese harp. So it's said that these little legs represent the bridges of the koto. When one of its legs broke, it was left in this unrepaired wabi-sabi state. So the name Kinroku literally means the 6 aspects. So this comes from the Chinese philosophy where a garden should have 6 different aspects in order to make it great. And for that matter, Kinroku-in is considered one of Japan's 3 great gardens. So these 6 aspects that this garden is said to possess, which is a very difficult feat to possess all of these, is openness and seclusion, artifice and antiquity, and waterways and panorama. So you can imagine it might be hard for a space to be large, wide, and open while still giving you a sense of intimacy in a garden, that's seclusion. And I'm sure you can also imagine how it can be hard to use the antiquity of nature and those authentic surroundings while also introducing the artifice of modern design, such as bridges and even those little thingies on the tree over there, the Yuki Tsuri. Honestly, this place is really lovely. I've been to a lot of gardens in my time, and I could just vibe here all day if I had the time, but I don't because I gotta show you guys a million other things. So let's walk. Do you see the golden koi in there? Just chilling. So you can see these trees. All of these trees are plum trees. I don't know if you can see the little buds on it, but these will all bloom into plum blossoms, but it's still too cold for that, as you can see by the snow on the ground. Plum blossoms are different than cherry blossoms.
This
They're
arm
often
seems a bit
like a
fucked
deeper
up. That's okay.
pink color. So Kinroku-in has a long history. It was originally part of the gardens of the castle that we'll be going to after a lot of things happened, including it burning down. It was eventually transformed by, of course, the Maeda clan into a beautiful garden, which was finally opened to the public in the 1870s. And now we're here today in 2025 to enjoy it. We have a bird gathering over here. All right, this is the tea house, Shigure Te. So Shigure means drizzle, which points out that this place gets lots of rain, but it's also very serene and beautiful. So this tea house was rebuilt in its original Edo style, and it was originally used by the Maeda clan. So you can come here, go inside, and they have green tea. But I just had ice cream, so we're gonna keep going. This is one of the last spots we'll see. So apparently this is the origin point of this garden. And you can see this waterfall back here was from 1774 is when it was created. And look at this peaceful area. I love it. All right, so we're back near where we started. You can see the tall castle walls over there, and you can see I'm on the opposite end of the shops here. So we're gonna head across over to the castle. I'm super excited. It has a really cool history to it. Let's go. All right, so you can see behind me is the castle. And before we head inside, let me tell you a little bit more about the history of this place. So I told you about the Maeda clan. The Maeda were part, and probably the most important part, of the Kaga domain. So the Kaga domain was the area here with Kanazawa and also the surrounding areas, including Toyama and part of Shiga. That whole area at the time, the Kaga domain, was basically supported by the Maeda family. The Kaga domain was literally so wealthy and powerful that they were and are called the Kaga Hyakuman Goku, which means the Kaga
You're done with your attack. Oh,
1
congratulations.
million koku. So what is a koku? A koku is the amount of rice it takes to feed one person for a whole year. So what this means is this place was so wealthy that they could afford to easily feed 1 million people for a whole year. This place was so wealthy not only in money, but also in resources. As we said, they were able to produce gold leaf from the abundance of resources. And of course, that allowed them to produce more culture. So later we're going to see a lot more things pertaining to the aspects of culture and arts that they were able to develop due to this wealth. And one of the things that they were also able to produce was this castle. So as you can see, not all the
Do you want to
castle
see?
is still
Oh, of
here
course
with
I
us
want to
today,
see.
right? So my heart goes out to the part that's gone. But I'm going to show you what's left of the castle, and I'm going to show you about the interesting history behind it, because this was no normal castle. Let's go see it. So this is one of the most important historical sites in Kanazawa. It was originally built
honestly,
in
not bad.
1583 and served as the headquarters of the Maeda clan.
It seems
This
like
gate is huge.
I learned things very randomly.
This place is not fooling around.
I'm like, yeah, we really were. I think this is the problem when you learn independently. You learn things very randomly. Because I'm like, why did I practice drawing packs with Kohaku? And then I still don't know how to draw a face.
The 50 gate warehouse and the defensive gate.
Just like those dating profiles. It's like, yeah, no face, just torso. just torso.
As we walk up, you can see on the end over here. So this is the Diamond Tower. So this tower has a slightly twisted diamond-shaped design, which actually is to make it stronger against earthquakes and attacks.
Yeah, of course
and
I want to see
you'll
your
find
art.
thick wooden beams and secret windows. So it's basically a medieval.
I think we can host somebody. I think somebody's with their anniversary. So
you can see that getting into the castle.
I think tomorrow, next art stream, I think we focus on
So we have
faces.
walked all the way from there, and now we're crossing a bridge.
Faces would
And
be
of
so
course,
cool.
that's for a reason. So when you get to this gate,
Just focus on
by the time
facial
you get
structure.
here, all of you and your fellow
I like to think like maybe the body's my strongest.
Maeda clan people, you're getting
Maybe the
bottlenecked here
body's
now.
my
And they're
strongest
just
at the
shooting at you.
moment, which is not saying
So
much.
everything in a castle is all about
Just,
strategic design. Look, I'm gonna
I don't
be
know
sniped right
what's
there.
wrong. There's
Game
something
over.
wrong here.
Oh, I can be
There's
sniped
something
from
like
here
really
too.
wrong here.
Oh, from here too.
And
Wow.
then
So
oh my
this
god!
place is definitely a heck of a fortress.
Wait, the lighting and the rendering.
And it is so loud and terrifying. And they don't even need stuff.
Oh my god! Wait.
They don't even need snipers. They have a built-in security system.
Alright.
That's really
Let's go
good.
inside.
Wait.
Alright,
I
we're
hope you've been
inside the
getting like a
castle.
lot of points.
Penetrate
I
the
I still don't
forces.
really understand like the
We're
thingy,
in.
but
I love being able to visit a castle where you
I
actually
don't get it.
to
So like, is
enjoy
there somebody that just
the
wins
inside of it.
in art
That's one
fight?
of the things I really like about Himeji Castle, and I always recommend that to
They
people.
most value like
is
the
you get to
people
go inside and really
that
kind
like
of experience the
can draw
castleness
like
of it. Oh,
just
fuck,
pump out
castle,
these
not so
pieces,
much.
right? And be quality.
Okay, now it's time to get to work. I need to get my.
And girl, I want a kimono, but we should host somebody. With the most points win, but it's basically bragging rights because all they get is a badge. That's so cool though. Okay, maybe 1 year we'll participate. Maybe give me like 2 years. I will participate in 2 years, but I said it here in July 6th, 2026. I'll see you in 2028. Man, everybody's streaming like pretty long hours, so I don't know who to like really host. Do you want to watch The House Always Wins or Mecha Chameleon? Let's host Bella Short. We haven't hosted her in a while. Good luck. You know, Art, Mecha Chameleon, close enough. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think we're gonna play like Gacha or something. But thank you for all the hosts, thank you for all the follows, thank you for everybody tuning in. Thank you for people that like, yeah, just even encourage me to like continue this art journey. So I'll see you guys later.